Started with 500, on my way to a meal, closed over 100 deals. Can't change us. It's the game changers. It's the game changers.
You want to ask yourself every single day, am I doing everything possible to reach that goal? Don't get too far of yourself. Stay in the moment, stay grounded, and continue to push every single day. Welcome to the Game Changer Podcast. I'm your host, Elijah Bryant, and we got a special guest with us today. We got Eddie Sorrellis in the building. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Welcome. So this is the first podcast, so let's start from the beginning. Where you from, and let's talk about your upbringing.
Well, I'm third generation from Tampa. My great-grandfather on my dad's side came from Spain to Cuba, and then we came into Tampa in the late 1800s, whatever.
Okay.
And same thing on my mom's side, but that was even in the 1500s. So my family's been here for a long time, and I was born and raised here, and I enjoy it. Florida's great.
How was Florida back then? Or how was Tampa?
Well, I've asked my parents and grandparents. They remember that, like past Hillsborough Avenue was just all woods. It wasn't developed.
Wow.
I remember being 12 years old and there was no New Tampa. It was like barriers off of Bruce B. Downs, and where Fish Hawk is at and all that. It was all pasture land. It was nothing. So I've seen it. My parents have seen it. My grandparents really seen it. I mean, they've told me about down Mabry and Kennedy was swampland. You can buy that swampland for like 10 grand.
And how much you think it's worth now?
It's millions now. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So what led you into real estate? Because when we was talking before, you said you got into it very, very early. So
yeah. Well, my dad was an electrician, and I like construction, and my dad ended up meeting this lady and getting married, and she was in the title business, and her and my dad decided to start a title company, and I was working there, and I'd watch investors coming in, buying and selling and wearing shorts and being happy and making all this money, and it was like pretty easy decision what I wanted to do one day. I want to be one of these guys,
right.
and had a little courier business, So I got to see a lot at a very young age, and I just realized that, man, real estate's where it's at, and if you be good at it, you can do quite well. But I know it wasn't going to be easy.
Yeah.
But I knew it was definitely the field that if you get in it, you put the time in, and you work hard at it, eventually it's going to be pretty hard to fail.
Yeah. So did you go to college or you went straight into real estate?
Well, I wasn't very smart when I was young. I was in SLD classes. I tried right when I finished high school to go to college and made all Fs. I wasn't ready. And so I did some, I worked. I was an entrepreneur. I had a lot of businesses when I was a kid, mowing yards, giving baseball camps, delivering packages, trying to be a real estate agent, just all these different things, being an appraiser. And I started making some good money, but then I realized, hey, what's making $5-6 grand a month, but you don't have a good education. So I decided to go back to college and put myself through college by working at Home Depot. So I did that, was able to have a good time. College was fun, and I enjoyed working at Home Depot. I thought I wanted to be there forever. I really liked the concept. And then I just realized it was time to go, and I was about 25 years old, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go become this millionaire, and took off the orange apron, decided to go do this real estate game. And my first 6 months in the business, I didn't make a penny, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to go back to Home Depot and put that orange apron back on, and this is the rest of my life. But luckily it clicked. In the next 6 months, I think I made like 30 grand, which was way more than I would have been at Home Depot. And the next year I doubled that.
Before you go on, What was that first deal?
Well, my first real estate deal was probably just selling a house. Just making a little commission, yeah. And then my first real estate kind of deal was, I'm a young kid, and I put out a postcard, I buy houses.
We all started there.
I have no money. I was like, I buy houses? And this lady calls me up and says, okay, come buy my house. And I'm like, well, look, I can either buy your house for 10 grand, or we can do owner financing for like 16 grand, or I can like list it for $29,900. She was like, well, that's an easy decision. I want to list it for $29,900. I'm like, thank God. I could just market and sell it. I didn't have the money to buy it anyway. But as I'm showing it, I'm realizing that this house clearly could sell for $29,900. But nobody wanted to buy it because she was a pig, she had a dog. She would, and I give her feedback. Like, look, get rid of the dog, clean the place up, and you'll sell it. But she couldn't do it, and she got really desperate, and she eventually said, well, you buy it for 14 grand. But by that time, I really knew the property. I knew what I could do.
Yeah.
I felt very confident. So I went to a hard money lender, said, look, I need the money. And he's like, okay, here it is. If you don't do good, you probably break your legs or whatever.
Right.
And I borrowed the money, and that weekend I went in there and bombed the place and cleaned it all up. Luckily, she left and took the dog with her, and within 7 days, I had it sold for $29,900.
Wow.
And so, once you get a taste of making money like that a different way, oh, it's a drug.
Yeah, that's how it was for me too. You know what I mean?
And it's like, and then before you know it, within 6 months, I did it 10 more times.
And it was just back to back. So this is all you. So you started off in terms of like real estate as an agent, and then you went into wholesaling, and then it just started trickling down for you.
Well, yeah, wholesaling / investor, supposedly.
Okay, yeah, because that would be like wholesaling.
Because really and truly, you couldn't really wholesale. Because even if I would have got the property for 14 and didn't touch it and say, hey, would you pay me 16 for it? People wouldn't have done that. You had to actually go. No, yeah, it was a different time period. You guys are living in a different time where you can, like, you guys do this arbitrage stuff. You rent houses and for the cash flow. There was none of that. None of that stuff existed. I mean, it made no sense to do.
So then, when did wholesale start becoming a thing?
I mean, there was probably wholesaling like for upper end, like higher end homes.
Oh, okay.
But not the low end. The low end is if you wanted to buy that low end property, then you better fix it up. That was more the concept. I'm sure, but I didn't know the middle ground or the high ground at the time. I couldn't even look at it. To me, it was way too expensive.
Yeah.
So.
So, okay, so now you get 10 deals back to back, right? And that's like your first 2 years?
And I still did real estate transactions. I was still selling, listing, and then I realized that the postcard thing was working, marketing, advertising. And so I decided to focus on multifamily this time. So I kind of fibbed a little bit and said I was a specialist of selling multifamily property. If you wanted to sell your multifamily property, I specialize in it. Haven't sold one yet, but I'm going to. I believe in them. I like them. I studied them. I understand them. And this guy calls me up and says, "Hey, I got a property on Chelsea Street. Come meet me Saturday morning at 10 o'clock." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll be there at 10 o'clock." I didn't really know a lot. He got my postcard and wanted me to meet him. I'm like, "Okay." So I get there a little early and I look at the place, and it didn't really fawn on me too much when I first looked at it. Then he drew up in a big white van. He was a typical landlord. Old man with a beard, a bunch of keys. I mean, he comes out and says, "You Eddie?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Eddie." He's like, "Well, come on, let's go look at the place." And he's got all these keys, and he's opened the doors up, and he showed me 4 apartments. And the place was just gorgeous. And my jaw was just dropping. And she's beautiful. I mean, hardwood floors, high ceilings. I mean, it was just a beautiful place. And afterwards, after showing, he's like, "What do you think about it?" I'm like, "I think she's beautiful." "I don't know. How much do you think it's worth?" I'm like, "I haven't done my research. I don't know yet." He goes, "Listen, kid, I can see you're kind of new here, and let me help you out." He was like, "I want $78,000. What do you charge?" I said, "I charge 7%. He goes, "Okay, give me the paperwork." I'm like, "Okay, here it is. I had it." I was like, "Here it is." He goes, "Look, now go to work. I got to get going." I'm like, "Okay." So he made my job really easy.
Yeah.
And he takes off, and I'm sitting there looking at the place saying, I do not want to sell this place. I want to buy it. But I'm new now. I don't have much money. I don't have good credit. I haven't been at my job 2 years. I know I don't qualify for a loan.
Yeah.
But I wanted to buy it. But I had a friend of mine that was 7 years old. I mean, I knew him since I was 7. And I said, "Hey, Andrew, I know you live in a little condo and you pay $500 a month. Won't you buy a house with me and you'll live for free?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Where's it at?" I'm like, "Oh, it's by Hillsborough High School." He goes, "I went to Hillsborough High School." He goes, "That's a rough area." I'm like, No, it's up and coming. I said, "Just come look at it." I said, "Just look at it. If you don't like her, we don't need to do the deal, but just come look." But she was so hot, so he went to go look at her. He's like, "Yeah, I can live here for free." He goes, "What's the catch?" So I kind of explained to him how we could get in with no money down and not make a payment because the tenants downstairs will make the payments. We'll both live upstairs for free. And we did it. And so you just figure out ways on how to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah. And I like that you added value to him. You told him you could live for free, and that immediately caught his eye. You know, he got the money and you have the deal. So that was dope.
We ended up staying there for 18 months, and we turned around and sold it. We bought it for 78. We turned around and sold it for 136.
Wow.
And we split that profit 50-50. Back then, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But what's even better than that, meanwhile, I did another postcard. Now I'm a contractor too, because I was a contractor's license. And this lady calls me up and says, give me a bid on this house. So she got like a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,000 square foot house. And I told her it's going to be 80 grand. She goes, 80 grand? I can't make no profit. You're too expensive. I'm like, well, lady, that's what it cost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, then I can't buy it. I'm like, oh, you're trying to buy this property? Because yeah, I got under contract for 12 grand. And I'm like, wow, that's a good deal. I said, well, if you don't want it, I might want to buy it. What do you want? She goes, if you give me 2 grand, you can have this contract. So I bought it for 14 grand. I completely redid it for like 40 grand. And then I ended up selling it to my best friend, Andrew, because after we sold that property, he had money for a down payment.
Yeah.
He gave me that down. Now his payment's the same as that 1-bedroom apartment he used to live in. So now 18 months later, he went from a 1-bedroom apartment paying $500, living for free for 18 months, now to a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,000 square foot in mint condition for the same price he was living in the condo.
Wow. He probably got the best of it. It sounds like.
You know, you think he would do it again? No, they don't understand. They won't do it. He probably end up selling it and spending the money and back into an apartment again.
Yeah.
Because you have to. It's hard to explain.
No, I understand, because I feel like it's the same thing with learning the land business. When I first started, made a lot of money, and I'm trying to put everybody on. I'm trying to tell family members, I'm trying to tell my cousins, friends, and certain people got it, but certain people just didn't want to do it. I'm like, yo, it felt like a layup at that time, you know? But, so now, I remember you telling me, I'm not sure what part of Tampa, I think it was Tampa Heights, you was getting for like super cheap. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, I started making some money, and I'm about 26 years old now, and I just sold a quad down the street for like 70, and I remember seeing this building that I drove by when I was a kid, when I was 18 years old, and I said, look, there's my castle, because it's got 3 commercial units, 9 apartments. It looks like a Spanish castle to me back then. Mm-hmm. And I remember driving by and said, oh, God, no, because the neighborhood was just terrible. But I went back again, you know, when I was about 26, and I saw it, and I ended up buying it. I ended up buying it with no money down, and, you know, I'm the king of like 0 down, 0 a month, how many properties you want. Mm-hmm. And so I bought it with no money down, never made a payment. The tenants have made the payments. I've owned it now for 30 years. Made a lot of money. My businesses lived there for free for the last 10 years, and I'm probably worth over $3 million right now. So.
And that's where
my office is at.
Yup, yeah.
But I owned about, in my lifetime, in transactions and everything I've done in Tampa for over 30-something years, I've probably done over 1,000 deals easily. And I know one property I've sold like 7 times. So,
wait, what?
Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time.
They just pass it to you every time. That's dope. That's dope. So what was like your biggest deal, like your biggest payday from a deal?
I don't know. There's a young kid that was 19 years old that ended up buying a cigar warehouse off of Albany. I think he bought it for 200 grand, and then I ended up listing it and selling it for 400, and that was a nice commission. Back then, that was a while back. That was a long time ago. I remember that was one of my biggest deals. You can understand, I bought 15 quads in Tampa for 10 grand a piece and sold them off for over 200. I bought 9 houses from Senator Hargett for 30 grand a piece and sold them off for over 230.
And this is all for holding them, like
yeah,
as time goes on.
You couldn't like just flip like right away. That didn't really exist. I mean, I remember one time I did flip one right away. And I went to a code enforcement meeting, and there's a lady in front of me that was a cat lady, and they were citing her, they're going to fine her, and I told her to wait outside. I'm let me finish my case, I'm going to talk to you. And I went out there and I put her under contract to buy her house for 25 grand. And I didn't want to, there was a lot, the house was filled with milk jugs. I mean, it was just terrible. So I ended up flipping it to a friend of mine for 35. So I just made 10 grand in an hour.
Yeah.
Just giving him that deal. But I should have kept that deal because that's a really nice house. Now it's a real nice area now. And shoot, back then, you know, I've had so many houses. It's ridiculous.
With that back in the day, did you know that these areas were going to be up and coming? Like, what gave you that foresight, like, to know that?
I just knew they would get a little better. Like, I knew the values would get a little stronger. I mean, you know, we didn't have these strong hits like you guys are having now, you know, where these properties are going up 100 grand in a year. We never had that. That was crazy. Yeah. You know, and some of these areas of what we've been seeing, it's been nuts. I mean, shoot, I used to tell people when I first came into Tampa Heights, about 1996, 97. Hey, come buy these lots. There's like 1,000 lots in here for like $1,000 a piece. I promise you, they're gonna go to 100 grand. Shoot, you can't find a lot for under 500
right
now.
You could get one for 1,000. That's a steal for real.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
I bought 4 lots one day and sold them. I flipped it. So that one I did flip too. There's another one I flipped. I bought it, sold it one day, made 40 grand in one day. Thought I did great. Sold the lots for 34 grand a piece. Today, each lot's worth over 750.
Wow.
It's a big mistake. I should have held those lots.
And what made those like worth so much now?
That was 20 years later now.
Oh, okay.
It's right next to it's on Ross, right next to the Pearl, right next to Armature Works. I had the 4 lots right there.
Wow.
Between Highland and Ola on Ross.
Yeah. That's wild. So this is what I'm learning, like buy and hold, or hold long enough.
Biggest mistake I could ever say, like somebody says, you know, you've been doing this forever, almost 40 years, and what was the biggest mistake you ever did? And I tell them, you know, I guess it must have been, I sold. You know, I bought it for 20, sold it for 200, thought I did good, you know what I mean? And maybe not so good. I mean, you know, one of my friends, he's huge. He owns a lot. And he never sold. And I kept on watching him. And I'm like, how can he not sell? Because every year, the tax man basically makes you sell one house just to pay the taxes. Yeah. I mean, how do you not sell? How do you discipline yourself to, because, you know, the cash flow's okay, but really and truly, sometimes cash flow is like a vicious circle. You know what I mean? The real money is that the tenants buy you time. The real money is in the appreciation. And so, you know, and he never sold, and he never sold, and never sold, and now he's 100 times what I am, I'll tell you that. Because he didn't sell. Yeah. You know?
It's the buy and hold. But then I think of it like this, especially, you know, me coming out here, I had no money. So it's like you need capital to be able to buy, right? So I guess, is it like once you get to a certain point, you just hold on to them? Or what do you think about that?
Well, you're talking about money. So the bottom line is like, okay, in the beginning you didn't have any money, but you had a lot of ambition. You know, you had a desire, a dream. You know, you saw something and you went for it, and then you got some money. But then when you got that money, what'd you do? You went and spent it because you didn't have it before, and now you want to go spend it. And then you went and kept doing it again, and I'm sure you've done quite well, and you kind of spent it. And then sometimes after a while, then we try to hold back some of it and save some of it, but it's hard to do. Yeah. And so the first couple of years, sometimes all you're doing is just making it, and learning and figuring it out. And it's like, okay, now I know how to. I know how to make some money. But man, I need to learn how to save it or place it or do something else with it. Yeah. You know, and then you make bigger money, but then you go spend more money too, and you do more things. So it doesn't matter. It's almost like I've seen people make only 30 grand, spend it. I've made over $3 million before, and you just spend it. It just goes. It's like, it's funny how money can just go. Yeah. So like somebody that is like, let's say brand new getting into your program, because you know you have that program where you teach people how to get into real estate. How do you advise them? You know.
Like from starting out, let's say they get a couple deals.
But if you don't have money, then you need to knock on doors. You gotta get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not don't knock on doors, but you can text, call, mail out. I mean, you have to go out there and go work. You know,
Yeah.
go find a deal. If you find a deal, I'll fund the deal. In my class, we tell them if you find it, we fund it. We split the profit 50-50. A lot of people's, their own worst enemies themselves, their thoughts. Well, I don't have the money. Stop. I say boys chase girls, money chases deals. You don't need to have the money, just find the deal. You find the deal, you'll always find the money. And get out there, pretend you have all the money, pretend you have all the knowledge. Because with me, you do have all the knowledge and all the money. I just don't have. I'm not young anymore. I can't go out there and go look and find and be ambitious and dream of ideas. And I was talking to this girl not too long ago, and she's in the marine business, marinas. And I'm like, go find a marina. She's like, yeah, make this marina so much money. I'm like, okay, then go find one and make yourself the money. I can't. I'll give you the money. We'll partner up. You run it.
It's just
just go find a mom and pop person who doesn't want anymore, and if you know the numbers and you know your business, you know it's a good deal, and you're sure on it.
Somebody will fund it.
I'll help you fund it. You prove it to me that makes sense, because numbers don't lie. You prove it to me that you can do this, I'll take a chance.
Yeah. So what's that?
And they don't want to, and then she won't do it. No.
You know this
they stay comfortable with their job and they complain. And look, I'm sorry, but if you don't get in this real estate business, you're going to be complaining when you're old. I mean, I may get old and ugly and fat and ugly, but I tell you what, I'm going to be fat and ugly and old and rich. And that's a difference.
Right.
There's a difference.
So let's talk about, I guess, a success story from like one of your students.
I have so many.
Let's pick one.
Oh, just pick a
random student, how they started.
I have so many, but I tell this one that's kind of cute because a kid came to my class on a Tuesday and got a little training on Thursday and decided that next Saturday he's going to go knock on some doors that weekend. And so he comes back on Monday and says he went door knocking. And I said, oh, great. How many doors you knock on? Oh, just one. I'm like, okay. That figures. That's typical. And I said, okay, what happened? Oh, I knocked on her door and started talking to her and asked her if she wanted to sell. And she said, yes. And she let me in the house and she called me all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I ignored her call. I didn't know what to say to her. And I'm like, okay, let's call her now and tell her we'll come over and visit her. And kept a look at it and we'll make her an offer. So he does. And I end up, she says she wants like 80 grand. I said, look, man, I'm his money man. The most we can offer you is 60. And if you can take 60, we can make this work. And she's like, okay, that'll work. And I was surprised on that one. And so we ended up writing the contract for 60 grand. And she goes, listen, I want to show you something. Look at all these postcards. Look how many people want him to buy my house. But he's the only one that knocked on my door. And he's so cute. You know what I mean? And I want to go. I'm ready to go. And it was like perfect timing.
Yeah.
And we ended up going back and selling it really fast. And he got a check for like $12,400.
Wow. Just off of one knock.
Yeah. And then I ended up selling him a property a little later. And I said, I got a deal for you. You can't refuse. And he's like, oh my God, what are you talking about? I'm gonna make you buy a property. He's like, I'll make you a deal you can't refuse. He's like, yes, I can refuse that deal. I'm like, okay, here's the deal. The day you buy it, you walk away with 25 grand.
I ain't refusing that.
I have 2 apartments. The payment I'm gonna give you is $900 a month. The tenant already pays $900 a month. You can live in the back for free, or you can you can rent it out for like $900 bucks. So he bought it, rented it out for $900 bucks. So now he got in, made 25 grand the day he bought it, and pockets $900 a month. Years have gone by now, and it's worth way over $200,000 more than when he bought it. And he should have done 10 of those, not one.
Yeah.
It's a system.
That's what it is. Once
Plug
you
into
do
a
it
system.
once, just keep repeating it.
Exactly. Once you got a good thing, you figure it out. Keep working it.
I got a question for you though. In terms of door knocking, who are they door knocking? Is it like homes that are beat up? Is it?
Well, no, a person who has the need. You know what I mean? we don't go random. We target our targets. You know, we know exactly. Our philosophy is that one person's problem is another person's gain. And so we kind of focus on problems, and we don't go there like a vulture. We go there as an angel trying to help them, because we believe that customers come first. You know, we're not there to take advantage of them or whatever else. We're here to help them first, but a lot of times they can't help themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we try to give people sometimes second chances and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, so it's very targeted.
So like if somebody's way behind on their taxes, you'll come in there.
I'm knocking on their door.
I'll pay your taxes if you want to sell, something like that.
No, it's more like, how this happen? You know, do you know that you're behind? First off, do you know that you? Some people don't even know they have to pay taxes.
That's wild.
Yeah, they don't even know. It's like, I inherited the house. I didn't know I had to pay taxes. Some people don't know. They didn't realize whatever. They don't have the money. They just, it's falling apart. They can't pay them. There's a lot of reasons. You know, there's a lot of problems, and we find out why, and then it's okay. Would you want us to help you? Would you want us to help you, like loan you the money? Would you want us to help you in any way? Or do you know how to fix this problem? And we just basically go, and then there's more than one way to solve a problem. So we give them like different ideas and choices, and we try to educate them, you know, and then have them make the best decision. And sometimes, you know, sometimes borrowing money is not a great thing. You know, sometimes it's better to just sell because you're not ready for it. You can't, you know, people with money, people that don't know how to have money, don't know how to use money, shouldn't have money.
Yeah.
You know,
I understand
that makes any sense. You know, people say, well, you should pay your people more money. You know, I'm like, if I pay them more money, they can do more bad things. You give them more things, they'll do so much bad.
Yeah.
So it's like.
I mean, it's sort of like a reason why they don't have it. You know.
Yeah, there's cause and effect.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Okay. So you're going in with the mindset to fixing their problem, and you're the solution to their problem, which is the reason why you guys
get to know them. I mean, first get to know them, you know, let them get to know us. And it's like, if you don't need us now, maybe you might need us later down the road. You know, so it's just an introduction for us to get to know them.
Yeah.
Them to get to know us. Talk about definitely a problem. I mean, the elephant in the room is there's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people just want to ignore it. You know, some people just are like, think it's just going to go away. You know, I haven't made my mortgage payment in 6 months. Well, something's going to happen. I mean, no. I mean, and then you solve the problem now. Do you try to solve the problem later? You know, when you have a problem, I believe you want to try to solve it as soon as possible. You know, it's just about choices.
So you get a lot of those where, let's say you meet them at the house, they don't want to do nothing now, and then like 3 months later they call you up like, hey, we need.
Oh, especially right before they're gonna lose a house. 10 days before they lose a house, and now they're calling me. Wow. And then I have to like, come on, I don't have enough time to do with it now.
Yeah.
I called you 6 months ago. I had plenty of time to get it done. You know, and I can't help everybody. I mean, I do the best I can, but you know, you got yourself in the problem. I came to you soon enough or early enough to, you know, it's just choices and ideas, and they don't know what I can do. You know, they don't understand the business of the games. They don't understand that you can do short payoffs, short sales. You know, there's modifications. There's a million things you can do to solve a problem. You know?
My question for you would be, what would you say is the key for your longevity in real estate business? Because I know you probably seen people come in and out, in and out, in and out.
Oh, for me? No, it's just wake up every day and love what you do, you know, and believe in what you do. And, you know, look, I've been up, I've been down. I've lost $10 million before. I mean, I've been up and down. I've been all over the place. I've wanted to quit many times, and it's, you know, but it's a game. It's a market. You know, it's like when you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. You're going to have a bad season. You're going to get butchered. I mean, you just have to keep going and not quit and believe in what you believe in basically America. You know, that the land is good, the people are good, the systems are good, and that you're going to, that if you, see, you're willing to do what other people are not willing to do. You know, you fix up, manage. I mean, come on, nobody wants to be a property manager, you know, or go fix things up. I mean, that's work.
Yeah.
And, you know, babysit and all this kind of stuff. So if you want to do what other people are not willing to do, like go find a good deal, go fix it up, go babysit it, hold it for a while, and believe that you know it's going to appreciate, and then take out your reward when it's needed, you know, when you want it. You know, so it's kind of like just believing in that game.
Just staying consistent and doing the work, like that most people don't want to do. Basically. All right. So for the viewers, I guess what's one tip that you could give them to like either get started or, you know, just keep it going or getting into real estate?
To me, there's no other business. Your only business should be real estate, period. If you want to be an artist, if you want to be whatever you want to be, go be it. But your main business should be real estate, because at the end of the day, your body, your talents, your things go away. And so you need to have your real estate funding you and taking care of you, your properties. Learn how to make properties and money work, not you work. And so that, to me, that should be your only business, your only focus, is to figure out how to get, you know, understand some of the basic things that real estate has. You know, cash flow, equity, appreciation. You know, these are things that, you know, and you take care of things, you know, because now I'm all over the different states and different places, and I have all these different things, and, you know, I provide jobs and I get other people to take care of it. You know, the margins are there for other people to take care of it, and I still win, they win, the tax man wins, everybody wins. You know,
right.
The whole objective is to create win-win situations for everybody, and do the best job you can. I mean, you know, don't go out there and try to be a slumlord. Don't go out there and try to hurt people. Don't go out there and try to do something bad. Don't cut no corners. Just do your job. Do the best you can, and try to be the best at it, and try to make it grow. I mean, so if you're cash flowing $1,000 a month, then you figure out, well, how can next year can I turn it into $2,000? And before you know it, now you're making $10,000 a month. Before you know it, you're making $50,000 a month. Before you know what, you're making $100,000 a month. Well, shit, you're making $100,000 a month. You're making over $1 million a year.
Yeah.
Just passively, you know, and that's not hard to do. That's not hard to do.
It sounds easy.
It's not hard to do, because look, before you become a millionaire, you got to become a dollarnaire. You just got to learn how to make a dollar a different way, and you just got to learn how to understand the game. And look, most people in a very short period of time can grab properties. It's about strategies. It's not about the cash. There's plenty of use other people's money. I buy properties today. I just bought 70 acres. I bought a whole mountain with 5 commercial units. I bought it with no money down, no credit, no job. I mean, I didn't apply. I didn't do anything. I got owner financing. I got, you know, it was basically, they begged me to buy it, you know. And the funny part about it, my very first month, I 5X'd.
That's a crazy deal.
Yeah, and the projections is over 20X, so it's nuts.
The deals are out there.
Oh yeah. But not saying they're here in your own backyard. You may have to go look. You might have to look other places. You know, Tampa was great for 30 years. I ate very well. You know, I did very well in Tampa, Ybor City, Tampa Heights. You know, all these areas, and I did very well in a lot of properties. But you know, it's getting more challenging, it's getting more expensive, and it's not me anymore. You know, and so I looked other places where it fits my style, and actually it's even better than what I thought it was here. I mean, I never thought I could own motels and clubs and restaurants and all these other things that I'm getting into now. It's nuts.
So it's like you don't have to do it only where you're at. Like, don't limit yourself to where you're at.
No, you got to think out of the box. You got to, you know, get yourself out of the comfort zone. I mean, you know, I never thought I would ever leave Tampa. Come on, 3rd generation here. I was a king of the hood. I mean, you know, I got a nice place and everything, but, you know, you asked me if I want to retire one day. I'm like, I could see myself retiring in Virginia because I own everything.
Yeah.
I own a whole town practically. I own 2 whole towns. It's nuts.
Yeah,
like,
that's
there's only
dope.
owners, me in a park. I mean, it's nuts.
That's dope, man. Any last words for the viewers?
just get started. I mean, step by step, day by day. It's just, my mom told me something. She says, if you want to be successful at something or do something, be good at it, just spend 1 hour a day, just 1 hour a day working at it, thinking about it, watching videos, putting time towards it, believing in something. Get the knowledge. You don't know what you don't know. Seek the right people to help you. Get a coach and mentor. Get a coach and a mentor. Get somebody to help guide you. And just be focused and be driven. And understand that you want to retire where you have a net worth of $50 million, $100 million, and your cash flow is $50 grand, $100 grand a month. Period. That's what you should be working for. And it's not that hard if you start young and you start applying yourself. Yeah, in the beginning it's terrible, it's hard, and you're lucky to make your first little dollar, and then it starts coming along and coming along and coming along. Before you know it, your first year is terrible. First 6 months, awful. First year is terrible. Then it gets 2 years, still bad. You're up to 5 years, terrible. But after 10 years, you're like, the best thing I ever did. And then in 20, 30 years, like, oh my God, look at this. How did this happen? How did I become this person?
Yeah. So
this is a dream. I mean, this is not even like real. How could this be real?
Word.
So it's a different pattern that you just have to go through. And I don't know. I was watching a video. I hate to say this, but real estate, you can see it, touch it, believe it. I mean, it's just, and it's like it's almost, to me, it's almost like a religion, because you have to believe that this real estate, because look, if real estate just stayed the same or goes down, then why would you want to play this game? That's really simple.
True.
But you got to believe that they don't make any more land, and people like having lots of babies, and this real estate is gonna go up.
Yeah. Everybody needs somewhere to
live. It's kind of common sense, you know what I mean? It's gonna go up, and if you got a winning horse, it's gonna go up. Why don't you not playing that horse?
That is true.
You know what I mean? And focus on it and learn it, and it's something you can control. You're not gambling on somebody else's control. It's your control. You chose it. You're doing it. You have control. You're fixing it up. You're finding the tenant. You're making it happen. You have full control. You have full control, and you believe in something. You take that gamble.
Yep.
And everything's risky, but I never lost I never really lost. Because you choose. Now, did the market crash and I had to lose a lot of money one time? Yeah, of course. But you don't really lose. It's really hard to lose in real estate. You just go down a little bit, but you come back up.
Yeah, you only lose when you give up.
Yep. Or you don't get in. And if you don't get in, that's a loss.
Yeah.
So.
Where can the people follow you at? On like Instagram.
I'm older now. Come on. No, we have a website. We have soralisgroup.com, or we give free classes, and we have all this kind of stuff that we do. I mean, I would love to help mentor and coach, and I want to be in different states, and I feel like the idea I have could be $1 billion idea. It's just because I think that people need this kind of stuff, and this is I tell people all the time, real estate don't need you. You need real estate. And if you're going to do real estate, you're going to need somebody like me to help you. Your chances of somebody like me helping you goes up dramatically, because I've already been there and done it. And if I'm going to give you everything I got, you should take that. I mean, I don't know how many other millionaires are trying to help change people's lives, and give you everything they got to do it. I mean, I'm a huge giver, but just don't take advantage of me too much.
So when is your next free class?
It's like church, man. I do it every Tuesday night religiously. Every Tuesday night, we have a 3-day class. We basically teach and preach. We tell about, how can you, if you went to a real estate office and said, hey, I want to rent a property in Tampa and pay nothing a month, they'd probably say, well, get out of my office. If you come in my office and say that to me, I'm like, this guy knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? So, can you rent a property in Tampa and not pay, and live for free? Yes. Can you buy a property, get a loan? They're just tools. Renting is just a tool. Owning with a loan is just a tool. Learn to use that tool to your advantage. Stop making the landlord rich, stop making the bank rich, start learning how to make you rich. And you can make yourself rich renting and buying and doing other things. It's just strategies, just understanding it and playing it and doing it.
Yep. So if y'all want the plan on how to flip land, you know where to come. Game changers.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
No problem.
That was good.